Hello, everyone. Jonathan Manus here, CEO of Manus Veteran Medical, and we made it to Friday. And what a week it's been. I've had an outstanding week with business, Manus Veteran Medical. But today we're going to take it back. We're going to chill out and relax a little bit. We're going to talk about wine with Marleah Alpers. She is a wine specialist and just going to share, a lot of great trends in wine and how to get great wine, and just talk about wine and relaxing and get into a good relaxing weekend so we can recharge our batteries and get ready to make some more money next week. So thank you everyone for tuning in, and please share this out. And also, we're doing a giveaway today for any veteran that you want to nominate. Just throw a veteran's name up in the chat, and we'll pick a veteran and send out to a couple veterans, the winners of the giveaway. We'll send out some good, cool stuff for wine. And right now, I'm going to go ahead and bring in Marleah.
Hi, everyone. Hey, hi. Thank you so much for having me. This is so fun.
It's outstanding, and thank you for being here on a Friday. We both talk a little bit. We're going to get into the weekend the right way, but, a lot of people love wine. I mean, absolutely love it. I know you've seen great success in it, but a lot of people don't know a lot about wine, never been exposed to it, really just don't know how to get good wine. So I would really like to go over and kind of pick your brain and share some outstanding knowledge with folks and get them on the right track as far as wine goes, okay?
I love that. I love that.
Well,
and everybody nominate your veterans, so make sure you do that because we want to celebrate our veterans today too. So 4 bottles of wine is going to go to one lucky winner, so nominate the veterans.
Well, thank you so much for that, Marleah. So let's start first with you. Tell us all a little bit about yourself and how did you get going and get all this started?
Well, I had a big career in pharmaceutical sales. I led a team. My husband was in the Air Force and we were moving all the time. When we decided to start a family, I made the decision to stay at home, which is not something I really thought I would do, but it worked out for our family and it was a huge gift to be able to do so. So I have 3 children and a pretty fantastic husband. When my youngest was going into kindergarten, I started to think, what's next, right? What am I going to do? I have been mom. I wasn't just mom. I was program director of my church, on the PTA board. Name something. I do a lot of volunteering in our town. I didn't want to lose any of that. I didn't want to go back into the pharmaceutical industry. I traveled a ton when I was working. I didn't want to go back into sample closets and ride-alongs. So I had this rare opportunity where I get to recreate my next path. And so I was reading a book at the time. It was called Redesign Your Life. It was like a turquoise book. It was a self-help book, trying to figure out what was next for me. And in the book, it suggested to make a list of your passions. So you can guess what my #1 passion was. It was wine. So I lived in Italy, studied abroad there. My husband studied abroad in France. We go back about every other year to go to Europe. I learned about drinking wine when I was 18, 19 years old over there in the old world, right? So I was like, okay, what can I do with wine with no formal wine education? I know a lot about wine. I'm drinking wine right now. I've traveled the world about wine, but I'm not a sommelier. I don't have any formal training. So I went to Google and I was trying to figure out what my next path was and how I can make it about wine. I remember my husband kissing me on the forehead and saying, if anyone's going to figure out how to make money with wine, it's going to be you. And the rest is history, I guess. So I found Scout and Cellar, if any of you all are familiar with it. A few years ago, they were a brand new startup wine company, had just been started. I'm like, okay, how do I do this? And the CEO, Sarah Chadnick, who's this fierce, awesome attorney turned sommelier, started this company, and it all was founded on a headache. She was studying to become a sommelier and was becoming sick, headaches, a lot of just sickness from some of the additives that you're finding in wine now. So she decided to do something better, right? She was going to travel the world and come into contract, team up with boutique farmers from all over the world. These farmers, these vineyards, these families that have been creating wines the right way for 100 years, right? So she teams up with them and brings them to us here in the United States. Only about 3% of the wines we find are actually past the 2 lab tests to be clean, like they're considered clean crafted. selected. And of those, about 15% make it to the website. So very few. There's no additives, no chemicals, no added sugar. Here's a tip. Red wine should not stain your teeth. If you drink red wine and it makes your teeth purple, that's an additive called mega purple. It's not supposed to be there. Animal byproducts, fish byproducts, those are things in mass-produced wines. And so all of our wine is completely clean. It's always changing. Nothing is mass-produced. When I read about this company, I'm like, I got to do this. How do I do this? Dear company, how do I do this, right? I was so wet behind the ears. And everyone, you become an independent wine consultant. You literally just start your own wine business. And so I am now in the e-commerce wine space. I work out of my home. I coach and mentor other people in the e-commerce wine space. And I share really amazing wines supporting the most special farmers all around the world. So I'm pinched me because I hit the jackpot in dream jobs. I literally had an idea and I'm very proud of what it's become.
Well, Marleah, everybody can see your energy, and everybody says the same thing about Maine and Federal Medical and what I do. And we have energy and because we have passion with what we're doing. You know, I love bringing the top quality products to the veterans. You love making sure that people that are drinking wine are drinking the best wine, or the best that's out there. And also, another side of it is the freedom of being your own boss and handling your own business. And I've done a whole series trying to motivate folks to get out there, start your own business. You don't have to have $1 million in the bank. You know, I did a stimulus check challenge. Instead of spending your stimulus check, I want to teach you how to start your own small business and grow your business. And, you know, what you've been able to do is just outstanding. So let's go ahead and dig a little bit further and talk about what is some of your favorite type wines, and how do you get a hold of a really good wine these days?
Well, you know, so I only drink the wines that I represent now. So in Tennessee is where I am. You can bring your own bottles to most restaurants and pay a corking fee. So I always have the best wines because they're always the brands and the vineyards that I represent. So how you can, honestly, not all wines are vegan or biodynamic. So having a wine that is biodynamic or vegan gives you a little bit of a clue that that wine's going to be cleaner, right? You're not going to have a fish or animal byproducts. You're not going to have, if you don't want anything you want something that says no additives, right? You don't want any added sugars, no pesticides or chemicals on the grapes. For me, I love a really heavy red wine, right? I love high tannin wine. I love the dryness that it makes my mouth feel. I have a lot of people ask me, a lot of people don't know how to order red wine. So if you're not real familiar with red wine, you may be like, how do I decide at a restaurant which red wine to pick? And I always say, think about the flavor profiles that you like. Yes, Mike Manley, Tennessee. He's like my biggest fan in Tennessee. So think about the profiles that you like in any kind of food or drink, right? So if you like dark chocolate, black tea, sour pomegranate, grape juice, chances are you're going to be a fan of high tannin wine. So when you are selecting wines at a restaurant or at your wine store or reaching out to me, which I would love to help you curate the perfect wine. But if you like those flavors I just described, you may very well enjoy your Cabernets, Syrahs, Malbecs, Merlots, Tempranillos. Those are high tannin red wines. If you are listening to the flavors I'm, describing, your pomegranates and your grape juice and your black tea, and you're thinking, heck no, that's not for me, then for red wine, you would want to kind of gravitate to your thinner skinned red wines like your Pinot Noirs, or stick with rosés or, white wines, not Chardonnays, but some of your lighter white wines. So yeah, does that answer your question? I might have gone off.
No, it absolutely answered the question. So let everyone know, what is some of the things you do with your business? Like if a client comes to you out of the blue, how do you help them? And, what is some of the services that you offer?
Well, I'm really proud to be able to research all my wines that I represent. So I do know the labels and the vineyards that we represent. So usually if someone tells me that they like a particular wine that you can buy at a wine store, I can match that flavor profile with the wine that I represent. And so that's a really good starting point. Or if they tell me wines they absolutely don't like, that's also a good starting point. So I am, you talked about starting up a company without a lot of investment. That's how this business works. I remember saying to my husband, I was like, if I make X amount of dollars in 1 year, I'm going to jump into this business, both feet, and I'm just going to my kids say it, I'm building a wine empire. I hit my 1-year goal in about 6 months. So this business has been a huge gift. And that's just me, I'm so proud of just betting on myself to create this business. And I was telling Jonathan before we got on the show, it's like, in my past careers, I don't know how proud I was, right? So I didn't know how proud I was in my job. It was a paycheck. It was kind of a job. I'm proud of what I'm building right here. I'm proud of what I'm representing. And that moment when you get that paycheck and you're like, I want that to go up, guess who gets to make that happen? I do, right? So when you talk about how do I share my wines, I do wine tastings all over, right? Even this week, I was fortunate enough to meet with one of my LinkedIn contacts in Houston. I sent her wine. We did with her office, we did a wine tasting virtually. So I share these wines all over the country, so people get to taste the wines. The beauty with Scout and Cellar Wines is we guarantee all of the wines. So if people order a wine, they don't love it, I'm going to make it right. So you really, Miranda's here. Hey, Miranda. So there's no risk at trying the wines. And so I share wine and I share this business, and I have this, I've got business partners all across the country, engineers, a lot of attorneys do this, a lot of people building these businesses most of the time on top of their careers. You get to build something of your own. You get to create something. I think I bet you understand what I'm talking about, Jonathan, because you are building. It's something special to build your own thing.
It absolutely is, and if you don't mind, tell people that are watching today a little bit about, how long has it taken you to build this up? When I went into Main East Federal Medical, we went in wholeheartedly. We did not delay. We just went in, kind of just like you did. But how long is it taking you to build this business up? And how many people do you have underneath you? And what do you want your future to look like? How many people do you want to grow to?
I started in August 30th of 2018. And I have about 100 business partners with me all across the country, which I'm very proud of. I don't know where I want to build it. There's no ceiling, so this can keep getting bigger and bigger. For me, I just want to share great wines. I want to support our farmers who I truly believe in. And I want other people to do this with me, right? So it's one of those things where there's no ceiling. So I don't know. I actually have a business coach, and he's like, what is your goal? And I'm like, I don't know. There is no end. There's no ceiling. The harder I work, the more time I put in this, having this opportunity to be on this live is amazing, right? So I don't have an answer to your question. I probably should have an answer to that question.
No, that's a great answer. It's a great answer because, like you said, we're going to move upward and onward, and there is no stopping. And that's what people say, about Main East Federal Medical. I keep bouncing back here, but, they want to know how I'm doing it, and, how am I getting where I am? So far, when it's just, a small core team, I'm like, we just work so hard. We're nimble. We're not a big machine, so we don't have to be so slow. We just get together, we make a decision, and we go for it. And you're doing the same thing there. So it's completely outstanding. And
we've also got, so this pandemic has been so hard for so many, but for e-commerce wine, this has been huge for our business. So we are surpassing, just blowing out of the water all of our goals for this business, right? So when we first started and launched this company, our 5-year goal was $20 million. We hit that in the first 8 months. So from the start, we have had we're trying to keep up.
You're going to run out of grapes.
We hit 40 million by the end of second year. The December we hit $78 million. So for us, it's pretty exciting to know how quickly we're growing and how many people we are supporting and helping. And not just that, we are now considered a top 50 winery in the United States. We are starting to make it. We just were invited to our first blind taste testing. So the San Francisco Chronicles holds a huge tasting. It's blind test. We had over 1,000 wineries, 5,700 wines. We submitted 4 wines, all 4 placed. 1 gold medal, 2 silver medal, or 1 silver medal and 2 bronze medals. That was huge for us. I mean, we've gotten to the point where, we're making a name for ourselves. Scout and Cellar is going to start becoming a household name, which, heck, guys, going to be there from the start. I can't tell you how proud I am of that. So there, I mean, and there's growing pains, right? You know, Jonathan, there's startup growing pains. There are things that, you know, we're going to laugh at one day in that first year when you're running out of wine, or, you know, we're having, you know, trying to keep up shipping with, you know, the volume. But gosh, I mean, I'm not going to lie. This is the jackpot of businesses for me. And I'm, you know, I was telling Jonathan today, I've just spent the whole day at Grandparents' Day. My younger boys had Grandparents' Day at their school, so I was with my mom and my boys all day. I get home 30 minutes ago, and this is me. I'm getting this huge opportunity to talk with Jonathan and you all, and I mean, just pinch me, because this is my dream.
Well, thank you so much. Let me go to the chat here. Let's pop this up here. What changes have you made in terms of running your business during the pandemic that you plan to continue after everything opens back up? What do you think about that, Marleah?
Oh, Miranda, I love that question. So so we share our wines a lot through tastings, right? So when the pandemic first happened, of course, all of our tastings and all of our events were canceled. And that was that moment where you're like, okay, I'm in a business where I share wine with people and I can no longer do that in person. So we were actually very creative with virtual wine tastings that have been very effective, and I plan to keep doing those. I also joined LinkedIn. I'm brand new on LinkedIn. I'm very involved in my small business networking organizations, both on my small town, the mountain I live on, but also in the city of Chattanooga that's you know, down below. So all of those things got canceled too, right? So I'm no longer networking. I'm trying to market wine with no people, right? How is that possible? So I jumped on LinkedIn 18 years after everybody else, and that has been huge for me. So I was just saying earlier, I did a wine tasting with some people in Houston just on Wednesday night, and so I plan to do that same thing. I'm not stuck in Chattanooga, Tennessee, or the greater, you know, Chattanooga area. I can share these wines all across the country. And so that's kind of made us more, you know, we're flexible with this business. This doesn't have to, you don't have to be tasting in the same room as me. You get to taste over there, and I'll sit here and I'll taste over here, and I will, you know, coach, and I'll teach you about the wines, and I'll share about our farmers. So it's really opened up the market, you know, for me personally. I'm not just stuck in my town. I'm all over now.
Well, LinkedIn is a wonderful tool. I'm telling you, I use it every day, and I'm so thankful to LinkedIn because they give me the platform of LinkedIn Live. I had to fight 2 years to get this, Marleah. I had to let them know. They asked all these questions. They want to know, how am I going to help my LinkedIn family grow? And I told them that my knowledge in federal contracting and what I had to share with everybody is definitely the reason why. And, you know, you have to prove your viewership, your followership. We got it after 2 years, and we've already been able to help people win over $650,000 in 1 year in federal contracting. These are other people, not Maine Federal Medical. So, you know, being able to give people the knowledge to be successful is just a powerful thing, and LinkedIn allows us to broadcast that. And I'm just so thankful that we have this, you know, this tool to be able to educate with. So I know that you.
Yeah, and we're developing real relationships. So, so for me, LinkedIn's doing, you know, I'm doing, you know, as well as I can hope for to be over here. But I'm still in the mindset of small business networking. So if I'm going to connect with you, you're going to hear, hey, how can I support you on LinkedIn? Because that's how I would have approached you shaking your hand a year and a half ago. I would have been like, oh, Jonathan, it's so nice to meet you. Tell me about yourself. How can I help you? Let's work together here. And so that's how I approach LinkedIn. I don't care about the numbers. I don't care about the views. I don't actually care about the metrics at all, but I'm really trying to make connections. And so I was telling Jonathan earlier that, you know, a LinkedIn coach, Scott Aaron, spoke to my team last night. You know, over 100 people got this, you know, coach to sit there and help them. I've had, you know, Adam, you know, who's a huge finance guy, spoke to my team. So these are all contacts. Jonathan's having me on his live. These are all contacts I'm meeting on LinkedIn, which is, first of all, making the world so much smaller, right? So we're all people, and this just makes me feel more connected to people, especially in this pandemic time. But you see real people trying to support each other's businesses, and I love that. Like, you know, I need to see more of that in my life. I turned off the news. I need to see the the kindness in the real world.
Correct. And a lot of people know me. I mean, I put out a post yesterday that I want to make go viral. Please scroll through and see it. But it's about just taking care of each other and loving each other, because all this hate and all this stuff that's going on out there right now, forget that. I'm over it. I am so over it. I want to do great things. And I've realized by helping other people become successful and watching someone that never believed that they could have made some money in a positive type of way, and actually getting them over the finish line is the most self-fulfilling thing that I've ever done. And I know you feel the same way, Marleah. Like, helping folks is the real deal. And if a lot of people start to do it and we spread this type of love and we lift people up, then we're all going to get to the same type of success that we want to get to, you know?
Well, you know, and I love quotes. So one of my favorite quotes is from Mother Teresa, and it said, if you want to change the whole world, go home and love your family. And so that is my favorite quote, because when the world flipped upside down and all the hatred was all over the news, and there's Adam, that's who spoke to. I mean, he's just a brain when it comes to finances and accounting and taxes. I can hire my kids. Who knew? So, I mean, that was a great call. I'm so happy he's here. Adam, thank you so much for joining. He's just the smartest guy. Besides you, Jonathan.
No.
So that has been kind of that's my approach to life. I'm going to raise these good humans, you know, I hope, and we're going to change the world in that way. And so I've turned off all the news. You know, I'm kind of ignorance is bliss right now, because right now, you know, I can't change some of the hatefulness out there, but I can change my little bubble of people. So that's my goal.
That's what we're doing. So let's get back to you, okay? If you would, I'm going to share the screen right now. Let's walk people through your website. Let them know kind of what you're doing, and get some people driving to you. If you need some good wine, we're about to pop this in and show you how to get it.
Yay! Okay, so that is my website. On the upper left hand, do you have the controller? Do I don't know.
Yeah, control.
Yeah, on the upper left-hand corner, you can pick the state you're in. There are some states that we don't ship to. I'm going to have to look at what they are because it's state liquor laws. So we don't ship to, P.O. boxes. We don't ship to Rhode Island. We don't ship to Mississippi. We don't ship to a couple other ones. I'll put them in the comments because of state liquor laws. But you can select your state, and that will just, show which wines are available in your state. Again, liquor laws kind of determine which wines are available. So you can go and you can look under wine there, Jonathan, and you can see all of the wines that are available. None of our wines are mass produced, so they are always changing. So what you see today may not be what you see in in 2 weeks. So
you're in control, Marleah. I believe you can show people.
I'm sorry. So I can't actually go into my website. Should I go into my screen? That's the website.
Oh, I understand. I'm sorry. I forgot to tell you. Yeah, you won't see yourself. You'll be.
Okay. But can you see what I'm doing right now?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Oh, sorry, guys. So you can see, I'm going to scroll through here. You can see we've got gift sets. So if you are looking to share wine, let's think of Mother's Day, guys. Mother's Day is right around the corner. You know what mom wants? Wine. You know what your wife wants? Wine. You know what your grandmother wants. It's probably going to be wine, especially those of us that have been virtual schooling. We have launched these new products in the last year. This is Wilderness Road. It is the world's first mixable. It's a lower alcohol mixable. You'd use it similar to like your vodkas or your gins. It's grape based. It's a 19.5% alcohol by volume. So it's less than your spirits, but you'd use it similarly. We've launched the Epic Pursuits, those cans. Those are really fun, especially as we hit spring and summer. They'd be similar to what you would think of like a Truly or a White Claw. They are completely clean crafted, and 1% of all those sales goes to saving the bees. So we do a lot of giving back. Sparkling wines, you can see from France, from Chile. We've got wines from all over, and like I say, they're always changing. So yeah, those are the wines. I don't have any that I don't recommend. You see something like here, like Muscat Blanc. One thing that people say, like if they like sweeter wines, so we have no added sugar in our wines whatsoever, right? So, so when people like sugary sweet, I may not have that wine for them, but I do have fruity wine. So this is going to use a Muscat grape, which is a sweeter grape. But we are relying completely on our grapes and not on any additives. So it's going to be a really fruity and a really crisp wine. It's not going to be sugary or sticky. In addition to that, our calorie count, of course, is about 1/3 of those mass-produced wines, right? Because we have nothing added. You can see we've got Italian wines, Oregon wines, anything you can think of. They always change. Price points from $16 to $72. And so our wines There's a wine club, and there's also a la carte wines. Wine clubs are amazing. If you look here in the wine clubs, you see these circle exclusive on your screen. Those wines right there are only available for wine club members. Wine club's amazing. Last year I was #2 in the company for wine clubs, so let's get #1. No, I'm teasing. So wine clubs have exclusive wines. We have exclusive labels. Some of these small boutique farms that we just don't have the volume to put on the website. You can do monthly, bi-monthly, or quarterly wine clubs. You can do 4 bottles, 6 bottles, or a case. All red, all white, or mixed. There's a lot of options. Cancel, modify at any time. You can also do a la carte. 6 bottles gets you free shipping and a 5% discount. 12 bottles gets you a 10% discount. Is that good? You want me to keep going?
Hey,
I can talk all day about wine.
No, I love it. And see, I wanted to give you this platform because, a lot of people that I work with are doctors, government buyers, all sorts of people. I mean, 16, 17,000 people, that will be able to click it. You know how LinkedIn Live does. It pops up at the top and says, Manus went live. Check this out. So they might be checking this out live now. They might check it out in the next few hours. And I want them to be able to know where to go to get the good wine. And this is it right here. I know it, Marleah. So they can scroll through and find you now. Let's see here.
We guarantee all of our wines. So, I am happy at a lot of times I curate wine for people, right? So someone will tell me flavors they like, maybe wines that they like, of maybe some mass-produced wines. They kind of tell me what they like, and then I put together an order for them if they'd like for that. We guarantee all of our wines. So if I'm way off, which I feel confident to say I won't be, but if I was way off, I would make it right. You would get a credit to your account. I would send you different wines. So there's really no risk in trying this wine. You're going to have a cleaner wine. You're going to taste the difference. You're also going to, there's no sugar or additives or chemicals, so you're going to feel different. I was telling Jonathan I can only drink my own wine now, even when I go to a restaurant, and if I taste another wine, I feel the next morning, I feel that cloudy, foggy feeling. That's not supposed to be there when you drink wine. You're not supposed to have a headache after wine. And for years, I just thought that was just part of drinking wine. I was just going to have that foggy feeling. And so, you really taste the difference when you're talking about this clean crafted wine. And again, we're supporting those small batch farmers, the farmers that are saying no to mass produce, right? They're not willing to do all those things that the mass produced wines are going to do, adding sugar, adding different stuff to the wines to make their grapes last longer, right? So, we are just fermented grapes. So we get a lot fewer bottles per acre of grapes than some of your mass-produced wines. So we are supporting these people that are doing it the right way. I've said it a million times, but I'm so proud to represent this brand because I believe in it with all my heart.
Well, it's outstanding. So give us some, we've been going for about 28 minutes. I want you to give me some of your last thoughts here. And just, is there anything you'd like to say to anyone that's watching this today?
The first thing I think Jonathan and I can both agree on is that if you are sitting at your 9-to-5 job or your current job and you're thinking, man, I wish I could do something, but I'm just don't think I'm strong enough, or I don't think I can do it, stop that thought process and think that you can do it, because I could have talked myself out of launching this wine business 3 years ago. I was on the verge of it, right? Do I really want to do this? And it has been the biggest gift to my family and to myself. So if you're on the verge, if you're unhappy with your job, like your work doesn't have to suck. Like your work doesn't have to be boring. Your work doesn't have to, it doesn't have to be a clocking in situation. It can actually, you can inspire people. I coach people all over the country. I've got a whole team in California now. I fly and visit people. I've got a network and friends all over through wine. I guess that's my tip. If you are it doesn't matter if it's wine or, whatever it is, follow that passion, because it's never too late. I was 40 and I decided to launch a business, and it's paid off, and I'm proud of it. And like I said, when I want this thing to grow, this is all on me. No one's taking the money from me. I don't have, a boss that's sitting there telling me what I have to do, or that I can't be at grandparents' day, or I'm going to miss a soccer game. I get to make my own hours, my own business. And, I'm, like I said a billion times, I'm very proud of what we are building, and I'm proud of supporting the farmers that we support. So. Well, I am
so glad that we chose to do this today, to let people know about good wine and how to get good wine and about what you're doing, Marleah, because you truthfully are. You're helping folks grow. We're motivating people, and we do the right thing every day. And that's all we can do as our own individual self. So we're doing that. And I wanted to say, for Manus Fetter Medical, thank you so much for your time. I will continue to drive people to you. As you're watching this and as you share this out, just throw any veteran that you would like to nominate for the giveaway. Just put them in the chat. We'll review them. We'll probably pick the winner by Monday or Tuesday, okay? Because the way this works, I do a lot of
bottles.
4 bottles, yeah.
4 bottles of wine.
That's outstanding. We do a lot of marketing, direct marketing. We're on Facebook Live right now, LinkedIn, Twitch, and YouTube. So we're going out a bunch of different ways, and we just want to make sure we get everything together and give everyone a fair shake. But Marleah, thank you so much for your time, and we're going to do this again down the road and let people know how things are progressing, okay?
Thank you. Cheers, everyone. Thank you so much for joining.
Have a great day.
Bye.
So that was Marleah, everyone, and I just want to say, make this weekend outstanding. Have a wonderful day. Today is my wife's birthday. Tomorrow's my daughter's birthday. It's just going to be a great weekend. And get your batteries recharged, and let's dominate next week, and just keep pushing. Don't stop. If you're thinking about starting a small business and you do not know what you're doing, call me. Email me at THE1LEGBANDIT@manusveteranmedical.com. Call me. My number is everywhere. You can find it on LinkedIn, anywhere you want to find it. Just call me and just let me help you grow. Again, we've done $600,000 in federal contracts since we started this stimulus check challenge for all the people that we're helping. That does not include Manus Fetter Medical. I'm just talking about other businesses that we've been able to help. So we're here to help you grow. And do not forget, whenever you want to try some good wine, reach out to Marleah. She will get you hooked up, and you don't even have to go to Publix. You don't have to go anywhere. She'll have it right to you, and you'll be able to enjoy it. So again, thank you to Marleah, and y'all have a wonderful weekend, and I'll talk to you next Monday.